Hey guys, good morning. It's Miguel and we have just gotten up. It's March 20th. It's like 3:40 in the morning and the spring equinox just happened perhaps 30 minutes ago. And we are in the city of Mérida and we are going to do something special to celebrate the spring equinox. We're going to the Mayan ruins of Dzibilchaltun, where we are going to see the sunrise as it passes through this perfectly aligned doorway and windows of this ancient Mayan pyramid that was designed and built to align with this astrological phenomenon. So in order to do that, we have to drive way outside of Mérida. We just got up really early to do that. We just to get there before the sunrise and just handle like the hassle of like getting into the site in time to watch this phenomenon. And it is pouring rain outside, so I don't know how this is gonna go, but wish us luck. We're gonna try anyway. Hopefully we can just live something beautiful that we can just share with you. Accompany us on this little adventure and try not to get wet. Good morning, and how are you feeling today?
Good morning. I'm feeling surprisingly awake. I think it's because I never really entered any sort of sleep, so I've just like been up all night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll be sleep drunk in a little bit, I'm sure.
I'm sure I will, yes. It is 4 a.m.
And raining. Let's see what happens.
Wish us luck.
Fun. Oh my god, it's so rare to see the streets of Mérida so empty and without traffic. It's kind of weird, eerie.
Yeah, it is. Oh, you've done this before?
When I first started traveling seven years ago, I came here to Mérida and I couchsurfed with a family who had a house in Concal, and so I stayed in Concal. Concal is like this small mostly Mayan town outside of Mérida. And then I heard about the equinox and how the sun lines up with this structure, and that it is like one of those things that you just have to see, and it's just so rare because it only happens twice a year during the spring and the fall equinox. So since I really wanted to do it, but I was in this town and you have to get up really, really early to go see it, I decided to walk from this town all the way out to those ruins, which was a 4-hour walk. And to be able to get there in time, because no buses were running from where I was all the way out to the ruins. So I just made like a pilgrimage out of it. I didn't even get up because I didn't even go to sleep. I just left at 12 a.m. and just really hightailed it. I just like speed walked all the way to the ruins. It took me something like 3.5 or 4 hours to get there. And I had like dogs snapping at my heels walking down these like abandoned like country roads in like the back bush, Yucatan. But I got there and I managed to see it like right on, like just in time. It was just kind of perfect. And now that I'm here with you, I wanted to do it again, so to share this experience with you. It's a profoundly spiritual experience. Not only do you feel that you're in alignment with like all these different like cosmic energies and celestial movements, but like you're also in touch with like these ancient peoples and how connected they were to like the world around them. So I think it's a very beautiful experience, and I'm just a little worried because that we're not gonna be really able to see it because of like the rain and the cloud, but I'm hoping that us getting up early will pay off, and we'll get to share this with you.
Yeah. I think no matter what, even if we don't like see the sun rise and it doesn't like do what we're wanting to like see, we'll still feel the energy of like what is happening. You know, like even if we can't see it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the important thing is just to try.
Yeah.
I think we would have really regretted it if we hadn't tried at all. So
yeah, we're here, you know.
That's the important thing. So right as we were turning into the road that leads to the site, we have been trailing something like 4 state patrol police cars who just proceeded to park and set up like in preparation for this whole thing. And I'm thinking that it's because like in the past some of like the new age people and like the hippies like might have gotten out of hand. When like during the event, because I remember like a part of the story I was telling you earlier was that after doing my walk, like my big walkabout and just like arriving at the site like only just in time, the head archaeologist of the site at that time did not want to open the site because he thought I mean, of course they're trying to protect it, but he didn't want to open up the site. And all of the people who had turned up to have some kind of a ritual or whatever there at the site were revolting. I mean, they came like this close to lynching him until we were finally allowed in, and it was a question of I think a minute between seeing the whole thing and not seeing it. It was that close. And people were pissed, but yeah, I just think it's interesting that now they have this whole like security operation going on like outside of the site. It's just kind of interesting. I don't know.
So this was not happening before?
No. Hola, buenos días. Gracias. We just got through and we are on our way to claim our spot. Oh, not the clearest day for sure, but hopefully it'll be clear enough. Hey guys, so we're here in the house, in front of the house of the 7 dolls, so called because when the archaeologists did the digs to try to, research what this place was way back in ancient times, they found 7 dolls inside the structure, 7 clay figurines of different deities that this temple was dedicated to. So you can see it here behind me. This building is perfectly aligned to the east, so that during the equinox the sun shines straight through the windows and down behind us to a stela that you can't really see because of the lighting, but shines right on this stela. So this is clearly like a ceremonial center. So there's just such a special energy here, because all of this has been done and built and designed very intentionally. For the Mayans, spirituality was very linked to their mathematics. There's the stars, the movement of celestial bodies. So it's all linked. They saw everything as like different cogs of the same whole. So it's just stunning to be able to be here at a specific moment in time where you can see all of it coming together. Their architecture, their their way of life, their mathematics, their astronomy, their spirituality, all coming together at this very moment for us to witness this special movement that is about to happen. So the spring equinox here draws a lot of people. The spiritual energy, this special energy that comes through during the equinoxes, draws a lot of people here willing to see this phenomenon and just partake in this momentous event. Oh, Jesus, it's starting to rain. Hopefully it'll go well.
Siete.
Only a few minutes more to go. The moment of truth. What we came here for. Hopefully. How much?
6 more minutes.
6 more minutes to sunrise. So sad news. There was no sunrise. We woke up at 3 for nothing. But we're here. We're like waking up in the middle of like the forest. And this is still like a special place. The energy is still here. Don't need to look at the sun for it to be here. But it is just disappointing that we didn't get to see it this year. But that is just the vagaries of the road, I guess. Ah, the sacrifice has arrived. Although we missed the sunrise and the whole light show, you could say, I mean, you're still rewarded with just like the peace and tranquility of like this day. It's just such a beautiful, slow morning, and the swallows are just flying all around. It's a fresh, cool breeze, and I'm just watching like the sun peek through the clouds. It's a different kind of morning to what I was expecting, but it's just so peaceful up here. You can feel that fresh energy of the equinox. Just, I don't know, just filling you up a little bit. I mean, these are places of power that still have a hold on us, still have a capacity to influence us. So in the end, I feel that Bridget and I came here in a little pilgrimage, find like that freshness, and I mean, if we didn't get it from the sunlight, we're sure getting it from just everything that's around us. So this site also has its own cenote here. I mean, of course, cenotes were the primary water source for ancient Mayan cities. And this has got to be one of the most beautiful cenotes I've ever taken a dip in. You can't do it anymore because they closed it off. But beneath its waters, it has different species of endemic fish that only live in the freshwater cenotes of Yucatan, and also a lot of flora. As you can see, it's covered with lily pads. It is just a self-contained ecological capsule. and I'm kind of glad they're actually taking steps to protect it. So behind me is an open chapel that is another one of the features here in Dzibilchaltun. So it dates from the late 16th century, so perhaps a couple decades after the conquest of Yucatan by the Montejo family. So it is supposed that even after the conquest, some of the local Maya would still gather in these ruins to perform ceremonies around their own native spirituality. Because Dzibilchaltun, although it might not have been like a city like we imagine it, with pyramids and all these things, back at the time of the conquistadors' arrival, there was still a very sizable Mayan population here, and they would come to the places of all power and just worship their gods and perform their rituals. So what the Spaniards did is, in the place where they would perform their rituals, they built this church so that the friars could come and kickstart the evangelization process at the same place where they were already used to worshiping. So it's just kind of like supplanting the old with this like new thing, religion from across the ocean, built from the very same pyramid stones that used to line their old temples. So behind me you can see the space that would have been occupied by Dzibilchaltun's Great Plaza. It just gives you a sense of how many people actually lived here and called it home. Little shell left over. Not sure if it's a fossil. It's like going down stadium steps, isn't it?
Yeah.
So behind me we have a sinkhole, which is a perfect representation of how a cenote will form. So rivers in Yucatan are made up of underground currents of water that over time erode the limestone top part that covers the entire peninsula, until at some point it just collapses and leaves a sinkhole in behind. So this is a very shallow one, but you can still see like all the debris from when it caved in.